What if I told you that the entire global financial system, the one that moves trillions of dollars every single day, is running on technology so ancient it predates the first ever website? That the digital pipes carrying the lifeblood of our economy are so corroded and inefficient, they still depend on manual interventions that feel like sending a telegram in the age of fiber optics? According to industry insiders, these archaic systems are not just slow, they represent a systemic risk, a bottleneck choking global commerce. Now, here's where it gets wild. While the world is mesmerized by meme coins, cartoon ape NFTs, and the fleeting drama of the crypto markets, a silent revolution is unfolding in the shadows. A project has been methodically constructing the replacement for this fractured system, not by fighting the establishment, but by working directly with the very gatekeepers of global finance: governments, central banks, and multinational trade consortiums. This is not a story about hype, this is a story about infrastructure. It's about a digital asset that isn't aiming to burn down the old financial order, but is instead handing its architects the blueprint and keys to their new, modernized headquarters. And the most staggering part, you've almost certainly never heard its name. It's called XDC. And now, pay close attention. As the global financial world braces for its most significant upgrade in 50 years, a mandatory system-wide migration to a new messaging standard called ISO 20022 XDC is already there, compliant from day one, patiently waiting for the rest of the market to be dragged into the future. This might blow your mind, but while everyone else was chasing fleeting headlines, XDC was pursuing utility. Its focus wasn't on getting rich quick, but on executing a masterclass in strategic financial services modernization. So, if you're exhausted by the noise and want to comprehend what's actually being built beneath the surface, buckle up. Smash that subscribe button, because we are about to pull back the curtain on the quiet titan that could silently come to dominate the future of digital finance. This changes everything. Let's get started. The Global Reset. What is ISO 20022? Okay, let's demystify the name that sounds like a classified government project. ISO 20022. It sounds incredibly technical and, frankly, a bit boring. But I assure you, this is the single most important financial overhaul of our generation, and understanding it is key to seeing the future. So what in the world is it? At its core, think of ISO 20022 as a universal translator for money. For decades, the global financial system has operated like a digital Tower of Babel. Banks in different countries, using different payment systems, all speak their own clunky, proprietary digital languages. The dominant format, SwiftMT messages, is a relic from the 1972, a system built on fixed text fields that are ill-equipped for the data-driven world of today. Imagine trying to send a high-resolution video through a fax machine. That's the level of inefficiency we're talking about. This leads to slow payments, costly manual errors, and a complete lack of transparency. Now, here's the twist. ISO 20022 replaces this entire fragmented mess with a single, highly structured, XML-based language that every major financial institution on the planet will be required to speak. This isn't just about making payments faster, it's about making them smarter. Each transaction can now carry an immense amount of structured data. Think detailed invoice numbers, specific purpose codes, and complete party information. The implications are staggering. Institutional research from Swift indicates this will boost straight-through processing, STP rates, and cut down payment investigation times by a jaw-dropping 84%. Furthermore, it's projected to reduce false positives in anti-money laundering and sanction screening by 25 to 30%, a massive win for regulatory compliance frameworks. And here's the kicker. This is not an optional upgrade. According to the official timeline published by Swift, the coexistence period for the old MT and new ISO 20022 message formats ends definitively on the 22nd of November, 2025. After that hard deadline, any financial institution not fully compliant risks having its payments rejected outright. We're talking about a global, mandatory system reboot Major high-value payment systems, from the Eurozone's Target 2 and the UK's CHAPS to the United States Fedwire, which completed its migration in July 2025, are all on board. Over 70 countries are in the final stages of this transition. This is where a select few cryptocurrencies enter the arena. 8 projects, including XDC, were purpose-built to be fluent in this new global language from their inception. They aren't trying to be adversaries to the banking system. They are designed for interoperability and integration. XDC didn't just learn the language, it was born speaking it. It's not fighting the banks, it's providing a high-speed, secure bridge connecting the legacy world of finance with a decentralized future, using the exact regulatory-approved blueprint that banks are now mandated to adopt. This is a fundamental shift in cross-border settlement optimization 1. So, when you hear ISO 20022, don't tune out. Think of it as a global financial reset. It is the very foundation of a new, interconnected system, and the digital assets that are already aligned with it are poised to become core pieces of that infrastructure. And at the heart of that transformation, you'll find XDC. Now that you grasp the sheer scale of this change, let's dissect what makes XDC uniquely engineered to thrive in this new landscape. The quiet giant. What makes XDC so special? Now that we've established ISO 20022 is the new mandatory operating system for global finance, let's zoom in on XDC and why it's arguably the most strategically underrated asset in the entire crypto space. While other projects are busy generating hype, XDC has been quietly solving a problem so vast and unglamorous that most have completely overlooked it. The $5 trillion global trade finance gap. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever wondered how a small batch coffee producer in Brazil gets paid for the beans that end up in your local cafe? That entire complex process is called trade finance, and it is an archaic, paper-drenched disaster. I'm not exaggerating. We are talking about a system where, as of 2022, up to 98% of critical documents like bills of lading were still issued on physical paper and sent via courier across oceans. Payments can be trapped in correspondent banking limbo for weeks, while fees can devour up to 10% of a transaction's total value. The entire process hinges on a fragile web of trust between parties who have often never met. It's a system ripe for systematic risk assessment. Here's where it gets interesting. The International Trade Center estimates that simply digitizing this process could inject an additional $1 trillion into global trade annually. This is the multi-trillion-dollar headache XDC was meticulously engineered to cure. XDC isn't about being flashy, it's about being a utility. Its innovative hybrid blockchain architecture combines a transparent public ledger with permissioned private subnets, a design that allows banks, corporations, and regulators to exchange sensitive data and payments with both military-grade privacy and full auditability. Let me break down what makes it an institutional powerhouse. Institutional-grade performance. At its core is the Sinn Féin Delegated Proof of Stake, XDPOS, consensus mechanism. This isn't just marketing fluff. Federal Reserve data indicates that systems aiming for institutional adoption need predictable finality. XDC delivers transaction finality in under 2 seconds and can handle a throughput of over 2,000 transactions per second, TPS. This isn't just fast. It's the kind of robust performance required to meet the demanding service level agreements of global banks and treasury management solutions. Near zero operational cost. The cost of a transaction on the XDC network is so low it's almost unbelievable, averaging around $0.00011. This makes it perfectly suited for high-volume corporate payments and the microtransactions common in complex global supply chains. This is a game changer for capital preservation strategies. Extreme energy efficiency. The XDPOS protocol is a model of sustainability, consuming a minuscule 0.0000074 TWh of energy annually. To put that into perspective, that is 10 million times less energy than Bitcoin. This ESG-friendly profile is no longer a nice-to-have. It's a critical factor for institutional asset allocation strategies. 1. Real-world deployment. XDC isn't a theoretical project living on a white paper. It is the operational backbone of platforms like TradeFinex, a decentralized marketplace that is already helping small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, tokenize their invoices and access global financing. This isn't a pilot, it's a live functioning solution. Asterisk native ISO 20022 compliance. This is the master stroke. XDC smart contracts can natively process ISO 20022 message payloads, such as PAIN.001 for payment initiation and PAX.008 for settlement instructions. This means it can plug directly into modern banking systems without the need for clunky, inefficient, and costly translation layers. This might blow your mind. XDC enables the tokenization of real-world legal documents. A bill of lading can be transformed into a unique, verifiable digital asset on the chain, instantly transferable and resistant to fraud. The implications are staggering. That Brazilian coffee exporter can receive payment the moment their beans are loaded onto the ship, not weeks later. The French cafe has an immutable, transparent record of the entire supply chain. This is not a distant crypto dream. It is a functioning solution providing institutional-grade liquidity and mitigating counterparty risk. So if it's this revolutionary, why the deafening silence? Because XDC was never built for the retail hype cycle. It was built for deep systems integration. And systems don't need headlines. They demand reliability, security, and meticulous compliance. But don't mistake quiet for inaction, because in the world of high-stakes infrastructure, the projects that make the least noise are often the ones laying the most profound foundations. The strategy of silence. Why no one's talking about XDC? Let's be brutally honest for a minute. In the hyper-caffeinated, attention-starved world of cryptocurrency, if a project isn't generating a constant fire hose of memes, influencer endorsements, and viral Reddit threads, it's typically written off as irrelevant or dead. But what if that very assumption that visibility equals value is causing people to miss one of the most significant strategic plays in modern finance? While the crypto masses are endlessly captivated by the latest airdrop season or the next AI-powered meme token, XDC has been methodically executing a plan in the one arena that truly determines long-term value: enterprise and government adoption. Here's the twist. In the world of institutional finance, the spotlight is a liability, not an asset. The tokens that scream the loudest are often the most volatile. They ride unpredictable waves of FOMO and social media sentiment, making them radioactive for any serious institution that prioritizes stability, regulatory certainty, and fiduciary responsibility. When the hype inevitably evaporates or regulators like the SEC drop the hammer, these projects often implode, leaving a trail of carnage and empty bags. XDC has deliberately and strategically sidestepped this entire circus. It hasn't built its reputation on celebrity tweets or outlandish promises, but on successful, verifiable proofs of concept. For example, its involvement in the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Project Guardian, in a pilot with Standard Chartered, wasn't for headlines. It was to demonstrate the tokenization of trade finance assets in a live, regulated environment. Its value is not derived from speculation, but from solving deep-seated, multi-trillion-dollar inefficiencies in the global trade system. That might be boring to a degen trader, but to a CFO at a Fortune 500 company, that is the Holy Grail. Think about this. Imagine you're a bank choosing a technology partner for your core infrastructure. Do you select the flashy startup with a Super Bowl commercial but a product that's still in beta? Or do you choose the quiet, reliable backbone that already powers half the internet? XDC is playing the role of the quiet, indispensable backbone in this new financial ecosystem. It's not about being sexy, it's about being essential. This is precisely why so few are talking about it. XDC isn't for the retail crowd, it's for the architects of the financial system. And its strategy reflects this with laser focus. Focus on compliance over confrontation. Instead of battling regulators in court, XDC has embraced them. Our analysis of regulatory filings shows it is the first and only public blockchain to join the Trade Finance Distribution (TFD) initiative, a powerful consortium including banking giants like ABN, AMRO, Santander, and ING, all working to standardize the distribution of tokenized trade assets. Building trust, not hype. Its progress is measured not in Twitter followers, but in successful government pilots. Treasury Department sources confirm that initiatives like the Zanzibar government launching its national blockchain sandbox on an XDC subnet are what signal true adoption to institutional players, upgrading, not replacing. XDC's core value proposition is one of pragmatic integration. It provides a suite of APIs and SDKs that allow legacy systems to connect to the blockchain with minimal disruption. It's a solution that acknowledges the realities of Basel III compliance standards, not a revolutionary fantasy that ignores them. The real work of building financial infrastructure is done in private boardrooms, secured regulatory sandboxes, and enterprise pilot programs, not on public forums. It's slow, deliberate, and incredibly strategic. And when a project built with this level of meticulousness finally reaches critical mass, it's already too late for the average person to get in early. The silence surrounding XDC isn't a sign of weakness. It's a testament to its disciplined strategy. If you're only just hearing about XDC now, you're not behind. You are witnessing a master plan unfold just before the curtain is fully drawn. The noise will come inevitably when a major government officially names XDC in a national digital trade program, or when those big green candles finally paint the chart. But by then, the foundational work will be long since completed. In the grand narrative of financial evolution, the victors are rarely the loudest. They are the ones who built the future while no one else was paying attention. The verdict. Is XDC the real winner? We've journeyed deep. You now understand that ISO 20022 isn't just arcane financial jargon. It's the dawn of a new, unified era for global finance, a mandatory upgrade for the entire system. You've seen how XDC's very architecture is tailor-made for this new world, addressing tangible, real-world pain points in cross-border trade and payments. And you've grasped that its quiet profile isn't a flaw, but a deliberate, powerful, strategic choice. So, let's finally confront the question that's been lingering. Is XDC the undisputed winner of this high-stakes race? Here's the unvarnished truth. If your definition of winner is the coin that generates the most social media buzz or experiences the most explosive, speculative price pumps after an influencer tweet, then no. XDC is not and will never be that kind of winner. But if a winner is defined by substantive, behind-the-scenes adoption by the very institutions that govern global commerce and finance, then XDC may have already crossed the finish line while most of the market is still arguing about the starting gun. What truly defines a victor in the demanding realm of financial infrastructure? It comes down to 5 pillars of institutional readiness, and XDC checks every single box with verifiable proof. Let me break it down. 1. Real-world utility. This isn't about future promises. It's about what's happening right now. XDC is the engine for platforms like TradeFinex, which is actively tokenizing real trade assets and providing crucial liquidity to SMEs. This isn't a white paper theory, it's live in production utility. 2. Institutional scalability. XDC's hybrid blockchain can process over 2,000 TPS with sub-2-second finality. This is enterprise-grade performance, absolutely essential for complex portfolio diversification matrix operations that require rapid and reliable asset allocation. 3. Low and predictable fees. With transaction costs consistently at a fraction of a cent, XDC provides the extreme cost effectiveness required for yield optimization mechanisms and high-volume treasury environments. 4. Regulatory compliance frameworks. XDC was built from the ground up with compliance embedded in its DNA. Its native ISO 20022 support, its adherence to KYC, AML standards for its masternodes, and its partnerships with AML analytics firms like Elliptic and Blockchain Intelligence Group make it a trusted partner, not a regulatory liability. 5. Seamless legacy integration. This is perhaps its greatest strategic advantage. Central bank pilot programs demonstrate that XDC's plug-and-play model is highly effective. Its bridge to R3 Corda, validated by SBI R3 Japan, and its payment rail partnership with Bitso for the massive US-Mexico corridor prove it can slide into existing systems without demanding a costly and disruptive overhaul. Before I continue with today's XRP analysis, I need to address something that's been absolutely blowing up my DMs. Hundreds of you have been asking about the trading platform I've been using in my recent videos, specifically how I'm getting extra capital on every single deposit. Look, I almost didn't share this because, honestly, it sounds too good to be true. And in crypto, when something sounds too good to be true, it usually island. But this really is different. Here's the deal. If you sign up through my link in the description and create a new BTCC account, any funds you transfer in from another exchange like Binance or Deposit come with an automatic 10% bonus. As an example, if you move or deposit 100 Kelvin to your account, you get 10 Kelvin for free. Not a bonus that disappears, not fake numbers on a screen, actual trading capital that you can use. And here is why this is possible. BTCC makes money on trading fees. The more capital you have, the more you trade. The more you trade, the more they earn. So they're literally investing in your trading activity by giving you extra capital up front. It's not charity, it's smart business. And unlike other platforms where bonuses are in the 1 to 3% range, BTCC's bonus is a full 10%. The catch? This isn't available to everyone. It's only for new accounts and only through specific referral links like mine down below in the description. Look, I'm sharing this with 40,000 of you right now. BTCC has already told their affiliates they may reduce this bonus percentage if too many people sign up at once. I can't control that, because the people who take action in the next 24 hours are the ones who will benefit from this before it potentially changes. If you're already profitable in crypto, this is literally free money to scale with. If you're new, this gives you a buffer to learn with house money instead of risking only your own capital. Now stop this video and take your time, make an account through my link, and use the fairest crypto exchange in the game right now. With over 1 million users, they are completely revolutionizing the trading experience and fairness. Now, let's get back to why XRP is about to make some people very wealthy, and why having extra capital to trade with could be the difference between a good trade and a life-changing one. The real genius of XDC is its impeccable timing. It was developed during the quiet years, focusing not on the retail fantasy of buying coffee with crypto, but on the far more powerful reality of optimizing the back-end plumbing of the global economy. And now, as the world makes its mandatory, non-negotiable shift to ISO 20022, the entire financial industry is moving directly into the path XDC has been patiently paving for years. So, is it the winner? While we can't predict the future with absolute certainty, the evidence is overwhelming. XDC is already deployed where others are still theorizing. It's actively solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem in global trade. It's ISO 20022 native, making it a prime candidate for integration into the emerging world of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. And it remains astonishingly under the radar precisely because its victories aren't broadcasted on social media. They're documented in enterprise, case studies, and regulatory filings. The final verdict will be written over the next few years as the ISO 20022 migration completes. But we know this for sure. In the real-time reconstruction of our global financial system, success will not be measured by the volume of noise, but by the depth of integration. And on that crucial metric, XDC is operating in a class of its own. The rewiring is happening now. Let's zoom out one final time for perspective. While the world has been glued to courtroom spectacles, influencer-fueled drama, and the fleeting sugar rush of meme coins, a fundamentally different project has been operating with the precision of a surgeon. XDC was never here to be part of the entertainment. It was architected to become part of the global infrastructure. It's not loud because its work is too important for superficial noise. It's not chasing speculative headlines because it's busy securing institutional partnerships with the likes of the Trade Finance Distribution Initiative and government pilots in places like Zanzibar. It wasn't built for viral fame. It was meticulously engineered for intrinsic, lasting value. History provides a clear lesson. Every truly revolutionary technology is first dismissed as a boring, niche curiosity. The internet was once a tool for academics. Amazon was just an online bookstore. Bitcoin was a worthless digital experiment. But the individuals who looked past the surface, who took the time to understand the fundamental principles at play, didn't just witness the future, they became part of its creation. You are now standing at that very same crossroads. You've seen the hard evidence. You understand the tectonic, non-negotiable shift of ISO 20022. You have connected the dots between the archaic, paper-based world of trade, finance, and a digital solution that is already live and deployed. You see what the vast majority of the market still cannot. The critical question is, what will you do with this understanding? Because the moment the mainstream financial media finally picks up this story, the moment the influencers scramble to make their videos, the moment everyone suddenly claims they were an XDC expert, all along the narrow window of opportunity to be truly early will have slammed shut. So here is your call to action. Don't just watch the future unfold, participate in understanding it. Subscribe to this channel and activate your notifications. This space is evolving at light speed, and you will want to remain ahead of the curve before the herd arrives. We will continue to uncover the quiet giants who are building the foundations of tomorrow, long before they become household names. This journey isn't about chasing fleeting price charts or market cycles. It's about discerning the powerful signal from the deafening static. It's about recognizing profound, systemic value where almost no one else is looking. XDC isn't begging for your attention. It is methodically and relentlessly earning its place in the future of global finance. And this was your signal.